Happy Saturday. Okay, I am back with my 4th week of Halloween. It's looming quickly. Today we're going to be making this really fun little treat pouch, and it's not a hard one to do. If you've got the envelope punch board, this is like speedy. So I'll show you how to make this really quickly today. So first off, we're going to start with the Stampin' Up! Envelope punch board. If you haven't used it before, it's a must. This thing is so awesome and makes life so quick. So I'm going to make this just the size that one would make to fit a 3x3 card in. So it tells me right on the board, if I'm making a 3x3 card, then the envelope I'd want to make would need a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper. So I've already cut that out using the Motley Monsters DSP. And then it tells me right on here as well, it says if I'm doing that, then I need to do my score lines at 2 5/8. So this is really easy if you just follow the instructions that are right here. Select the card size, trim the paper to the correct size, align left edge to the score line measurement. So in this case, it was 2 5/8. So it says punch and score. And we're gonna do that, we're only gonna do 3 scores. So now we're gonna line the previous score line up with my little kind of pin thing that sticks out. So we're going to punch and score. So that's 2 score lines. This is my last score line. Punch and score. And then on the last one, I am simply going to punch. And you'll see why right here. What I want it to do is I want that top one to actually just stick up nicely. Now the only thing I have left to do with my envelope punch board, if you haven't already used it before and you weren't aware of this, if you flip it around the other way and feed your project back in, you can round that last corner. Perfect corner rounder, great for kind of finishing up that envelope. So that's it for the envelope punch board, and we'll put that aside. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to put mine together with a tiny bit of Fast Fuse 3D projects. Whoops. I'm a big fan of this. So if you notice, what I do is I roll down and then I just simply flick my wrist backwards. You're going to hear all kinds of things about check marks. I don't know. I'm too lazy. So if you simply just go down like this and then roll off that way, it comes off perfect. So the pouch is done and put together. Now the next thing I've got here is I have got my little belly bands that I'm going to use. My son thought I was saying ballet bands. He was really confused with what Mommy was talking about. So with these, what I am going to do is I'm going to take them around here, and then I'm just simply going to score them. So I'll bring in my scoreboard for this, and here's my Simply Scored tool. And I'm going to take it, this part's easy. I just can kind of decide, okay, roughly here, let's put a score line here. Now this part's quick and easy, so I'll just go there, I'll put that on. Now you can see on here, he's actually a bit too long, so I'm gonna walk away for one moment and I'll just trim that off. But my second score line, I can simply go, keep him tucked into his, and just do my second one like that. And so now I've got my 2 score lines and they match up perfectly, and I'll just go trim off that excess. So in case you missed, the dimensions of this piece of paper were 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. This piece of paper that I'm working with now is 1 1/4 inches wide this way, and he's about 8 1/4 inches long. So then all I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take it around the back, and then this guy here, okay, I'll just finish up my Fast Fuse there. See if I can do this without sticking myself together. Okay, so that one's on. And there's this one. Now, my next piece, which the first band I did was in Tangerine Tango, and this band's in Crush Curry, and it's about the same length. Actually, it's 1/4 inch shorter. This one's 8, and instead of being 1 1/4 wide, it's just 1 inch wide. So again, what I'm gonna do is I'll put it onto here, just to get a rough idea. And then I'm just going to put that, line that up with the score line, and give this one a score. You can't score them in exactly the same places because as it goes around, it tightens up and it won't quite match. So then this, I just slide over and kind of get it to a spot where I can see that's just past the previous one. Let's look like that. And stick him onto a little track. So now I should be good to go for my second band. Perfect. Okay, so again, this one I will just use my fast fuse. Sorry, not quite sure what I got going on there. So get this lined up nice and straight from the front. Okay, that one's on. Oh, last week, trick or treat. I've got 6 cards to give away. Mimi, you were the winner. If you could please email me your address, I will get those 6 little trick or treat card fronts in the mail to you so that you can make your own trick or treat cards. Okay, so now you can see this one is on, so that part's nice and easy. Now I'm going to grab my scallop circle punch, and I've just got basic black cardstock, so I'm going to pop out one of these. This was the first punch set I bought when I started, when I was introduced to Stampin' Up. I love the nesting kind of concept of it. Next one is my 1 3/8, and it's my crushed curry. And I'll put him on there. Now, let's get rid of the board. Okay, so my last step that I'm gonna do here, actually I have 2 steps left. This is that Freaky Friends set that I used the eyeballs from last week. This week we're gonna use the cat. Okay, oh, there he is. So I'm going to pull out my cat and I'm going to mount him. I seem to have developed an addiction to the Memento black ink. It's awesome, dries super fast, really clean, clear images. Now that I've said that, watch me completely and totally goob it up. Okay, so there, got him. It's beautiful. I'll give it a second to dry before I ruin it. And then the other thing that I have got here is I've got a little piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp this. There's a few that I could put in here. There's Trick or Treat, there is Boo to You, and there's also Happy Halloween. I'm going to use Trick or Treat because I thought that these would be the perfect pouches to kind of have my little treats in at the door. Now, this stamp set's actually, you can't purchase it. You can get it for free. I know, go figure. This is the one right now where when you host a workshop, and in Canada it's a $325 workshop order, you can actually get this one for free. Or if you sign up with me on my West Coast Creators team as a demo, if you're placing your own demonstrator order and your order is $325 or more, you can also get hold of it that way, which is awesome. Okay, so again, I'm just going to use the little Trick or Treat. Now, let's see if I can get this straight. Sweet. Okay, I was just about to tell you that remember paper has 2 sides, but we seem to be okay. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the banner punch, and I'm actually going to go in from the back side, and I'm going to slide my little piece of paper in, and I'm going to get it nice and I'm just going to make that little flag ending on it. Okay, that's all done. Okay, now this guy should be ready to go. And so this one, I'm actually going to take my crushed curry marker and I'm going to give him some creepy glowing eyes. I don't know if you can see that on there. And then I'm just going to simply punch that out with my 1 1/4 inch circle. I don't know why I feel the need to talk slower when I'm punching. It's like I'm scared I'm going to schlep it all up. Okay, so this, I'm going to simply snail him. Don't ask why it's a he. Down on there. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. Okay, do you see how quickly I make a mess? You can only imagine what my room looks like at the end of making some projects. Okay, so this is totally good to go now. And the only thing I have left to do is I'm actually going to kind of just use, I'm going to curl that up a bit, and I'm going to just shorten this. I don't want it too long. I do want it to kind of stick up off of here. So I'm going to take some snail at this end, and I'm going to let my little trick or treat overhang. Okay, see, you can see there, total type A. Feel the need to center that. Now here I got crazy and I stuck it down low. And then all that's left to do is I'm going to take a couple more dimensionals and I'm going to stick on my little cat. And I'm going to stick him over far enough that my little trick or treat hangs off. So there you go. You can see how quick and easy these little pouches are to make. I'm envisioning those little bags of Skittles tucked into these. Or maybe I'm just envisioning Skittles. I don't even think I'd tuck them in. I'd just eat them. Anyway, I hope you have an awesome Saturday, and I can't wait to share my next project with you next week.